I want to share a real experience that happened to me a few days ago that demonstrates how I give my power away, that really shows how I try to please everybody else except myself, and that really shows how I become moody, I become angry, and I project that anger with the people that I love the most, my partner, my daughter in this case, because we are traveling together in the motorhome and we spend a lot of time together. And how I project anger towards them and frustration, and how I discover that anger and frustration is actually towards myself through them. So 3 days ago or 4 days ago, we had to take the motorhome to the garage, so we didn't have our safe haven. I was in charge of Eva in the morning all the way until 2 p.m. I had a call program at 12 and I needed good internet, but the motorhome with the satellite internet was in there, so I didn't have access to that. And in the morning, I was feeling anxiety about me being in a place with good internet, because in the past, with this specific person that I had the call, um, we tried to have the call and it was interrupting every few seconds and we couldn't do it. So we reprogrammed that call 1 week later, and I know he's a busy man. I know he doesn't have a lot of time. And then he opened his calendar again to speak with me. And I was afraid that I would do the same thing to him. So part of me was very anxious about the day. Samantha wanted to go to a spa place with a swimming pool, and Eva was very excited about that, and me too. So we went there in the morning, but part of me didn't feel right. Part of me was trying to create an environment where everybody will be happy, Eva will be happy, Samantha will be happy, I will be happy, and I will be able to do my call. The day kept going. It was 10:30, 11 a.m., and then it was getting close, and there wasn't good internet in the swimming pool, but they had Wi-Fi, so I suggested Samantha, I can do the call here. Do you want to stay? But she didn't want to stay. She wanted to go and have lunch, and then so everything was happening and unfolding, and I was getting more and more contracted, more and more anxious, more and more angry and frustrated because I couldn't control the situation. So the idea of me doing this alone, the idea of me planning this without having into account Samantha didn't even come to mind in that moment. So that's how ungrounded I was. That's how disconnected from myself I was, from my true self. I didn't feel I was allowed to do that. So I was trying to create a scenario where everybody will be happy, where every need will be met. and in trying to do that, I was neglecting myself and I was not honoring what I wanted truly. And I had the opportunity to, I had shows for Eva. I had her phone, I had some coloring. So I had some activities to entertain Eva while I was having the call. I could have said, I'm going to go to the coffee place at 11 with Eva. I'm going to set up. I'm going to make sure I am fine with the internet. And then Samantha, you can come anytime to join if you like, or I can see you at 2 p.m. somewhere else. That could have been one scenario. Another scenario could have been, hey, Samantha, there is Wi-Fi here, so I'm going to stay with Eva here. I'm going to set up Eva somewhere so that she can watch shows and she can be entertained for an hour. And then I will do my call here that there is Wi-Fi. And then after, I will go and join you in the wherever you are, in the coffee place or wherever you go. So that way we can all be included. So those ideas didn't come to me in that moment. And this is an example of how I was giving my power away, how I was not creating the reality that I wanted, how I started to resent the people around me, and I was making them the reason why I wasn't getting what I needed. I was blaming them. I was becoming angry at them. And then I was being mean to them. I was being impatient with them. I was being passive aggressive with them. All these traits were showing up because I was not honoring myself, because I wasn't able to lead that moment in the way I needed. And I could have led that moment with love, with intention, including everyone, and setting clear boundaries. I could have done that. but I didn't have the capacity or the ability to do it in that moment. And I think all of this happened because the universe wanted me to realize this. The universe wanted me to keep evolving in this specific leadership arena where I give my power away, I don't do what I want, and it takes a lot of effort for me to do that because I am overcoming Mr. Nice Guy syndrome, people pleasing, being afraid of creating conflict, inability to say no to what's happening, to honor myself, inability to lead and be by myself doing what I want because it feels selfish in my nervous system. It feels that I'm doing something wrong because I am abandoning everyone else. From an attachment point of view, what was happening here is that togetherness, so being together and harmony with everyone around me, means safety for me, versus for other people, being alone means safety, not being enmeshed emotionally. So I was trying to people please. I was trying to create this environment where everybody will be happy and in harmony. And in doing that, I was completely neglecting myself. I was molding myself into something that I didn't want to mold myself into. I wasn't asking clearly for what I needed or wanted. And I wasn't giving anyone the opportunity to help me or support me in that process. So from the outside, imagine seeing this person, that it was me, that is getting agitated, it's getting mean, it's getting impatient. You don't really understand why he's behaving that way. He's not asking for anything concrete that you can do to help him. And then being with that person becomes a burden, becomes something like, I don't understand what you want. You are not requesting anything. You are getting more and more mean and impatient, and it's just not fun to be with you. So that was me in that moment. And it's so painful to see this, but I want to share this because it's so important. Because many of you may do something similar, and maybe you are not aware yet. It took me this experience to become aware of this. It gave me this painful experience. By the end, I did cancel the call. I never had the call with my friend. And I felt horrible about that because Eva wanted to stay in the gym and I just gave up. It was just such emotionally charged for me. And I was so ungrounded that it wasn't even worth it to have the call at that time. I wanted to hide. I didn't want anyone to see me that way. But I was able to send a message to my friend and say, listen, this happened. And then I was able to share my truth. I asked permission first, but this is a brother of mine that I have sat in men's circle with, and I have done my weekend, a weekend experience that I did 3 years ago. I did it with him. So we have this special tie, and he was able to hold space for me, and then he was able to share his experience in very similar situations, and then he recommended a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And I'm listening to that book, and that book is uncovering further discoveries for me, dynamics that I engage in, and the reasons why I create those dynamics and I engage with them, the reasons why in my infancy and my childhood I learned how to do that way. And then now I have the opportunity to start showing up into every present moment on a different way. Start to see these dynamics unfolding and start doing something different with them. Start not engaging with them. Start setting the boundaries that I need without having to go to the extreme of being mean and being clanky doing them and asking for them. I can still be loving and I can still set those boundaries while still including others in a way that feels good for me and in a way that also feels good for them. I can show up and clearly ask for what I need without feeling guilty, without feeling that I don't deserve it, without not feeling worthy of it. When I can overcome all these things, all of a sudden the situation becomes way easier to manage. All of a sudden I can receive help from others because they understand what's happening. They know how they can help me, and I'm clearly asking for what I need and want, and I can receive a no from them too. And that's okay. If I receive a no, or they are unable to help me with my request, I will change and create something different that still honors me, still honors them, and still feels in integrity. But I was not able to do any of these things. And this is why I wanted to share this experience before I forget. And I wanted to really share how my nervous system in that moment felt constricted, how even though the theory was in my head, even though I have read so many books and I am a teacher and I coach people, I still fall into there. I still lost consciousness. I lost connection with myself. I wasn't grounded. I wasn't allowing myself to self-regulate. And I was allowing the external circumstances to keep charging me emotionally to the point that I was completely gone. And it was very sad to feel that way. But it was necessary also at the same time for me to be able to see these things and for me to be able to take action and for me to be able to heal these things and start communication with all these different parts of myself that are feeling abandoned, that are feeling unworthy, that are feeling that they don't deserve to set boundaries. Who are they to ask for that? I cannot have needs. Having needs is needy, and that's not nice. And people don't want to be around needy people. So all these limiting beliefs started to surface. And when they surface and I can see them and they become conscious to me, and I can also share them with others and be seen in them, they start to dissolve. They start to just disintegrate. And that is what I'm going through right now. And being in the motorhome and spending a lot of time with my partner Samantha, a lot of time with my daughter Eva, and having to decide, having to create pockets of time, all of that is getting amplified to the point that I cannot hide anymore from these things. So it's forcing me to really look at them, to really decide, I want to stay grumpy and ungrounded, or do I want to step up and do something different? And to the best of my ability, I am trying to step up and do something different. But it is painful, it is clunky. As Samantha was mentioning in our latest dialogue yesterday, it feels chaotic. It feels that we are in harmony and all of a sudden we are in chaos again. It feels that we are taking one step forward and two steps backward. And what I was telling her in that moment is that to me, that feels like positive disintegration. This is a really cool concept that basically states that positive disintegration means that you have to disintegrate what you no longer want so that something new can be created. In this case, I am disintegrating this people-pleasing, this powerlessness, this limiting belief that I don't deserve to create boundaries, I don't deserve to have needs. Everything I do has to please everyone around me, and I cannot do it alone if I want to. All these beliefs get disintegrated so that something new can be created. And in the meantime, transitioning from the old to something new, there is this neutral, there is this chaotic in between that is uncertain, is chaotic, is unknown, and it's going to be clunky. And I'm going to step into that void because I no longer want to do what I have done. So basically, I don't want to stay in the familiarity of the past. I don't want to stay in the predicting something that my mind can predict in the future because it's going to be more of the same. So my only choice is to be in the unknown, in the present moment, trusting that whatever I need is going to show up and taking the next available step in that moment for me, in that healing journey, and trusting that the next one will show up at the right time. So that's what I'm going through. That's one of the recent experiences that I wanted to share with you. Hopefully this helps someone else. Hopefully me being vulnerable and sharing this opens your heart a little bit and maybe helps you connect with some of these maybe dynamics that you may see in your life. So feel free to share, feel free to reach out if you want to. And this is such a powerful stuff. And yeah, I just want to share it with you because I know it's going to help others. And it's helping myself. Me being seen in here by you, it's actually helping me a lot. Me taking the time to verbalize with words my experience and putting it out here for others to see me, it's helping me disintegrate what I no longer want. It's helping me stop hiding from it. It's helping me stop allowing all these things to control me in the privacy of my life. That's why I feel it's so important for me to show up, to share this, to be seen. And in me doing this, hopefully spark something in you to do the same. So good luck. I'm here if you need any support, and I wish you all the best in your journey.